Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tarnation TV's broadcast of the I Love Excellence series on Sunday nights. Race number 6 is where we are right now, and we've got Doug Hulick in the booth because Doug is a sponsor of tonight's race, the Veterans Crisis Line. Doug, I'll let you say what you got to say.
Good evening, Blaine. How are you, sir?
Oh, not bad, man. This is a great cause. So this is, I'll let you do the talking right off the hop.
It truly is a good cause to put out there. Veterans Crisis Line 125 from Talladega on Tarnation TV tonight. Been in the mental health field for a long time. Veteran from 84 to 88 in the U.S. Army. Have not seen a tremendous problems while I was in the service, but I know that there is just too many veterans out there looking for help, wanting help, or just deciding that it's too late for help. And that's the issue with it. On average, generally 22 veterans a day take their own lives, and that's just way too many.
That's a mind-boggling number. I can't. And that's why you're running a 22 number this evening instead of your usual 23.
Correct. I'm running the 22. It's the 22 a day Toyota Tundra with the Veterans Crisis information on it.
Yeah, we're looking at it right now on the renders that it looks like Rodney probably painted that truck for you because we got the renders he's using from Hodge.
Absolutely. Rodney did a fantastic job with that. The 22 crosses on each side represent that daily loss that we do occur.
Wow. Yeah, and it's as easy as just dialing 988 and then pressing 1 that quick.
That is right. Or you can call 838 or text 838-255 if you want to text. There's just so many other places out there besides the Veterans Crisis Line that you can call, touch base with, talk to family, talk to friends. You know, it's just an all-in having people around you recognize what's going on, you know, signs of a crisis, warning signs, different things that they can just educate themselves on when they're around their veterans, and help them listen.
Yeah, I mean, we all probably know someone who's in the military. I know a handful of people, and, you know, I never ask. And, you know, if they don't tell, I don't ask about what they have to go through, you know, in their careers. But, you know, I know that their significant others are like, you know, it's not easy, but, you know, there is services, hopefully. I mean, they do kind of, it's a shame that the military, even up here in Canada, they just forget about you after you're out. You know, and you need these extracurricular activities like these hotlines and stuff because they literally just, it seems like they abandon you and it sucks. Serve your country.
They do make an effort. I mean, there's a Facebook group I'm on for veterans, and I do follow a couple other things. It's just in, you know, knowing there's help out there and then actually wanting the help. You know, sometimes that's more of a crisis than anything.
Yeah, that's I guess that's part of it, right? Like to be able to have these anonymous hotlines is great, especially with the website. veterancrisisline.net is the one we're running across the bottom of the screen all night tonight. And you're requesting too. We're going to do our best to do this. The lap number 22 will go silent.
I like that idea. I think that's going to be I got no words for it.
No, this is an awesome cause, man. This is a heavy one for probably everyone because, like I said, military, everybody knows somebody who's been through this stuff. So it's awesome that they have these services like this to help these people through it, man. Hey, Jeffrey, you're in here, eh? What's the qualifying situation?
We're about 2.5 minutes. Hello, everybody. Anybody out there might be watching. Enjoy the race tonight. Appreciate you coming out to watch it. Doug, appreciate the sponsorship tonight, man. It's a great cause. And we do need to get back up there ready for qualifying. We want to wrap it up with Mr. Doug. I'd appreciate it. And so we can get him up there and qualify as well.
Yep, I'll let Doug have the last word. veterancrisisline.net. I'll let you wrap that up, Doug, and then we'll go to qualifying.
Thank you. I do appreciate the time speaking with you, Blaine, about this crisis line and just all the veterans out there in the world or that are tuned in. Stay safe.
And thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Doug. Thank you, Doug. Yeah. And we're off in less than 2 minutes. So we have a special intro tonight as well. So hope everybody enjoys it. God bless the veterans out there. And let's do this, Doug.
All right, there we go. Thank you to everybody for watching this evening's race of the Veterans Crisis Line 125. What's the 125 mean? Miles. That's how long this race is. And it's a simulator. Therefore, those are real miles. Is that the right way to say that? Are you back
That
yet,
sounds
Brad?
right.
Okay, there you go.
I'm back yet. No, I was just listening. I didn't want to get in the middle of all that. You guys are you had your chat on there, and it is good though. It's the only thing I had to say to that was like it's you can say bringing awareness to it. I think is probably the biggest thing. So
Yeah, it's just a thing. Like, I mean, everybody knows someone in the military, and it's such an awesome career path. And then a lot of times the government, you know, they don't supply enough funds, nearly enough funds to the people who serve the country. And it's a shame because, you know, people need outlets like this. So this is a great one. The hotlines are available. So definitely seek help, man, because we all love everybody and we don't want to see you go early.
no, it's someone's gonna care, and even if you don't think they are, and if it's not, like, even if you don't have anybody local or anybody on hand, but there's people that do that care regardless. So yeah, it's use the resources there, and also that bringing this up too is also a good time to like you know, reduce the stigma around going to seek mental help. If you need to see, there's a doctor for your brain. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes your brain's not working. Sometimes the chemical connections don't make it. Sometimes you're depressed, but you're not sad, but it's just literally, it's a chemical imbalance. We still don't know a billion% about how the brain and the body works, but you know, in the infancy of it, and there are, you know what? Yeah, go talk about what's bugging you, because ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's
and I think we need to normalize that more, because even I realized that too. I had seen not only with a psychiatrist, but even back a therapist, just to like kind of help me like deal with some things and how to handle things, and more just to change your mind of how you think about things. And so came out after a few sessions feeling better than ever, just for having somebody. Sometimes you just need someone to listen to who isn't even involved. Or personally, like, I mean, not that I couldn't tell you or Jen or anything, but sometimes it helps just to have a detached person, with no ulterior, not even all negative motives, but ulterior motives, or just people that just don't know how to necessarily help you deal with how you're doing. So don't be afraid to talk to people. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, you're right. Like, you know, like my brother, he got in a major car accident a while ago. And it was that same sort of instance where he instantly went, thank goodness he did, instantly went and got help, you know, and he knew to do that. Some people don't know, but
or
like you said, the help's there, and you don't even know these people, and they're not going to tell anybody, like, oh, guess who was in here today? That's not why they do what they do. They're, you know, they're there to help.
Some people, but I think the stigma is there for so many people, like, oh, that's for people who are weak, or that's for this or that, or I wouldn't go see. That's the wrong attitude to take, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that you're going to go to see a psychiatrist or therapist or whatever, and they might even be a very good one. There's always that chance too. Maybe you've been to one before and they were lousy, but they're not all lousy.
No,
some are. I'm sure statistically there have to be. But
yeah, I mean, and everybody's personality might clash, but you know what? Just go get a different doctor.
One of those psychiatrists surely was like, in every class, there's that one guy that just squeaks through. There's a handful of doctors and psychiatrists out there. You know who I'm talking about. If any doctors out there watching this show, when you got that C on that test, you're well aware of who you are.
Yeah.
All the doctors that watch our show.
Yeah, exactly, because I know they're all tuned in. Sorry to interrupt you. Did you abort your qualifying run?
Oh, I didn't. Nope. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, 1 second.
Yeah. All the people with the PhDs that tune into Tarnation TV every Sunday. You know, I had to get in here and quickly abort the qualifying run.
Yep.
I'm having an issue with my ticker, but we will work on that behind the scenes because we're not at the race yet. So there we go. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss qualifying. Since I'm the broadcaster, I should probably be connected to the race. But yeah, great cause tonight. We do have, obviously, we'll be talking to Doug again at the end of the race. He's running a 22 today instead of his usual 23 to,
that's right.
You know, signify the amount of suicides that happen. You know, like he said, the average suicides among war veterans every day is 22, and that's way too high.
That's way too many. That's 22. I mean, maybe not even families, because maybe not everybody has, but 22 people that are groups of people that are like going through something that you know, like that are a loss like that too. Because it's so much more than just. I mean, obviously, very much the soldiers that are the people being affected by it, but the fallout from that too is catastrophic, and hopefully that raise a bit of awareness. And
we have a couple of things planned, like the lap number 22. We will go silent, and I hope we don't miss it. Sometimes the racing is pretty crazy, and we lose track of where we are, but we'll try to honor that. If some reason we miss it, we'll definitely do a lap of silence. Hopefully it's lap 22, not lap 23 or 24, but we'll definitely do it if we do miss it, because sometimes we get caught up on the racing. But and then we also have a invocation coming from, I believe, is it Dan? Yeah, Dan Level's going to do the invocation before the race starts. After we do the driver, we talk to the drivers after the qualifying's done. Dan will do that. And then we also set up a little national anthem with the flyby. They do the missing warrior, the missing soldier. Oh, nice. Know, where the 4 or 5 jets fly over and then one peels off. Yeah. It's a shame that has to happen, but that represents, you know, the ones we lose. So we've got that built in there too. I made a little video. Then Doug hasn't seen it yet, so he's going to be watching it live on the broadcast. But we'll get to all that, and then we'll do some racing.
That's cool. I'll look forward to. I haven't seen it either, so I'm looking forward to see what you guys came up with. And you guys always put on. You yourself are a technical genius behind the scenes with all this and your video editing skills. It's nice to see. I always look forward to. Yeah. No, thanks, man. Yeah, it's. I say it's not super hard, but I've also been doing it for a really long time, so it almost becomes second nature. You're super modest too, right? So look who cut a burner of a lap. Oh, look at your standings and flip over to qualifying. Ooh, the what? You got it. Somebody better check his fuel. I don't know about that one. The 022 of Doug Hewlick just cut a ripper of a lap at 52.46. Fastest lap we've ever seen was, I think, a 4.31. So Doug, he's within a couple hundredths of a second of. That's wild. Hey now, Jeffrey Elliott. Hey now. Out there racing his heart off. You betcha. Yeah, man.
Your one and only Jeffrey Elliott here, TarnationTV.com. Check them out, guys. Anybody out there looking for the best of the best, hire these two guys. I just want to throw that out there real quick there, Mr. Blaine. Thank you for hosting again tonight. And also check out Facebook page, Talladega Nights Facebook page. We're getting a lot of new people coming in there, so appreciate all the new people as well. Hope they enjoy what we do here. Are you ready for the drivers, man? They are ready for you. Let's do it. All right, let me just go up there first, make sure they're all calmed down. Yeah, I'm talking about beer and muffins and all that good stuff. Yeah. So I'll be right back. Yeah. Got to calm down all the garage talk. Take it easy. Yeah. If the audience only knew what I said. We have company over. Keep it down. Keep it down to a dull roar, guys. Be right back. All right. All right, I'll go up there and talk to these guys. Brad, we'll see you in a few minutes, because I'm sure Jeff will snatch me away from here any second. I'll keep the seats heated. Yep. That's why we hired you. That's about it. It's a warm body to fill the seats. Yeah. Well, hey, there we are. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the race. It looks like it's going to be another great race this evening. Thanks again to Doug for sponsoring tonight's race. That's a great cause. And we will start at the top of the list with Doug. And after we are done, Mr. Dan Level will do the invocation for tonight's race. So take it away, Mr. Hewlick.
On P1, the 22 a day Toyota Tundra, Doug Hulick from Plum, Pennsylvania. Shout out to my father, Ray Hulick, Senior, U.S. Navy, my brother, Bruce Hulick, U.S. Marine Corps, myself, Army, 84 to 88. Let's have a great race, guys, and thank you, Blaine.
Thanks, Doug.
Starting second, driving the 55 Tostitos Chevrolet, painted by Rodney Solons, out of West Bend, Wisconsin. I'd like to say thanks to my son Jacob for serving in the Army, and to Doug for sponsoring this race. Anything we can do for the veterans is awesome. So thanks, Doug.
Starting third, Randy Wall from Huntsville, Alabama, driving the Crimson Tide Chevrolet. Shout out to my sons Christian and Corey, my grandsons Adrian, Asher, and Asa, and I served in the U.S. Army.
Thanks, Randy. Dan Lovell, 388 from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. Just want to thank all you guys for coming out. Thanks to all the veterans that sacrifice so much for this country. Thank you to my uncles Ronnie and Donnie. They both served for many years. They're both retired veterans now. Just my prayers go out to each one that helps make this country what it is.
Starting fifth in the 931, Robert Breedlove out of Lancaster, South Carolina. Thanks, Doug, for sponsoring, and thanks for all the veterans.
Starting in sixth, Stephen Brandstetter from Randolph, Oklahoma, driving the 510 Oklahoma State Ford F-150, painted by Blaine Diamond. And I'd like to give a shout out to all the veterans. Thank you for your service. Have a good day.
Starting seventh, the number 60, Perry Bond out of Virginia. God bless all the veterans, all of them, past, current, retired. If it wasn't for the vets, we wouldn't have a country. So thank you for everybody's that's served. Much appreciated. Thank you. Have a good race.
Starting in the 8th position, Keith Bynum in the 63 Chevrolet Camaro, sponsored by Hubcap Annie. I just want to say thank you to all the veterans that have served, and the ones that made the ultimate sacrifice. And just good luck to everybody tonight. It's a good cause.
This is for my dad, U.S. Air Force, my grandfather, U.S. Army. Starting 9th, Bobby Farrell, Frederica, Delaware, in the number 77 Bama Buggy Chevrolet Silverado for Spire Motorsports.
Starting 10th, number 043, Brian Lovell from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. I'd like to thank Doug for sponsoring the race, and thank all you vets, man, and guys serving today, and girls. You don't know how much you mean to us. Thank you.
Starting 11th, number 80, Eric Lovell. Thank you, Doug, for sponsoring the race. Salute to all veterans out there. Thank you.
Rolling off from the outside of row 6, John Godfrey, 711, LaJoy Chevrolet. Thank you, Doug, and may God bless all our veterans.
Starting lucky 13th, Pat McCarsky, number 97, First Responders Dodge, United States Navy, 74 to 83. Thank you, Doug, and don't get too comfortable in that first place.
Starting 14th at number 24 is Graham McDonald from Sarnia, Ontario. Thank you, Doug, for sponsoring the race, and good luck, everybody.
You man.
Starting in 15. Oh, what a good start. I've never had that start before. Okay, this is Sandoval, driver of the 96 Toyota Tundra. A big shout out to my buddy Doggy, and veterans, this is your night.
Starting 16th out of Sun City Center, Florida. This is Frank Divins driving the Chase Elliott Napa Auto Parts Ford. I want to thank my father who served in the Army, in the Navy Air Corps. My brother who did a full 20-year stint as a United States Marine, 76 to 96. And currently my nephew Tanner, who is in the U.S. Navy, stationed in Hawaii. Good luck, everyone, and thank you, Doug.
Driving in the 17th spot is the number 66 Yankee Chevrolet KD Huntsberry from Orrington, Maine. I'd like to thank my father, passed away recently, served in the United States Air Force. One of my true heroes, my uncle, recipient of the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star, and all you other veterans out there. We love you to death, man, and thank you guys what we're racing with, the veterans. Good luck, guys, and Doug, you're the best, man.
Starting 18th, the number 8, Greg Lovell from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. Thank you, Doug, for sponsoring the race, and thank you, vets, for all you guys do. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a country, and we really, really appreciate it.
Starting 19th, Mark Pagley driving the 28 Ford Raptor. Shout out to to Doug Heulick. Appreciate you sponsoring this race and all the veterans.
Starting 20th, the number 11 of Phil Lacasse from Thompson, Connecticut, the Team Crush Motorsports Ford. I've got to thank Frank Divens for the paint, and to Doug for the sponsorship, and to all the veterans out there. Thank you so much, past, present, and anybody who may serve in the future. We can't have this country without y'all. Love y'all. Thank you so much for what you do, and God bless you all. Let's have a great race.
Starting 21st, number 0, Alex Ortiz, driving the Coke car. Shout out to all the veterans, and shout out to Team Wrecking Ball.
Starting 22nd, number 67, Garland Oaks from Martinsville, Virginia. Like to give a shout out to my dad, who served in Korea in the Army, and to my stepdad, who served in the Navy during Vietnam.
Starting 23rd, the number 56 Chevrolet out of Mooresville, North Carolina, sponsored by Talladega Nights. Guys, appreciate y'all coming. Doug, thank you for this great organization that we all support. Without our vets, like I said, we wouldn't have a country. As you can tell by our history, we need the military, and they need to treat the vets much, much better, in my opinion. They come first in my life. So thank you guys, whoever served. Thanks for my falling father last week, Joe Elliott, serving in the Marine Corps. It plays hard on me, but good luck, guys.
Semper Fi.
Starting 25th, the number 4, Javier Negron from Bridgeport, Connecticut, driving the Toyota Sundrop. I'd like to give a shout out to Doug for the sponsorship, and to all the veterans that served us, and keep us safe. Thank you.
Starting 26, Billy Ellison, driving the number 26 Flintstone Chevy.
And starting in the last position, the number 12, driving the Lift Dodge Ram from Tallahassee, Florida, a 22-year veteran of the United States Army and Army Reserve with 2 deployments. And my shout out goes to Doug Heulick for sponsoring this race, and to my dad and 2 of my brothers who were United States Marines who have since passed on. I love you all. Thank you, and good luck to guys racing.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys shouting out to your relatives and your family. It means a lot to me. Thank you all for being here. A special shout out to Rodney. He's the Michelangelo of the paint shop for putting this car together. And also special shout out to my son, active duty U.S. Air Force.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. I think we forgot one driver. Tom, you with us?
Yeah, man.
Go right ahead, buddy.
All right, man. Number 45, Chevrolet Batman car, starting in position number 29 from Byron, Georgia. Thank you, Doug, for the sponsorship with this, and to all of our vets. We do love you guys and appreciate everything y'all do for us.
There it is. Thanks, guys. That's awesome. Again, thanks to Mr. Heulick for sponsoring this evening's race. And we'll pass the mic over to Dan Lovell for the invocation for tonight's event.
Everyone, please bow your heads. Father God, we come to you this day as a group of friends and comrades and family to, have a good time together and to enjoy each other's company, to be respectful and courteous around each other and kind as you would have us be. Lord, we are most thankful for everything that you do for us, for the breath that we breathe. And we thank you, Lord, for this great country that you've given us, and especially for those who have served to protect it and keep it what it is. Lord, they have made ultimate sacrifices. They have sacrificed their time, their hard work, their experiences, their expertise, and some even with their own lives. And Lord Jesus, that's what you did for us. So I put them right there next to you, Lord, as the ultimate sacrifice that they've given. And all those that are still serving, we ask that you be with them as well. Lord, we thank you for each and every one of them that have helped make us and this country what it is. But we ask that you just watch over each and every one of us, lead us and guide us to do things the way you would have us do it, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, there you go, Mr. Blaine. It's your starting lineup. Awesome field. Appreciate you all coming out. Blaine, any final words?
No, man, let's go racing. We've got a national anthem to get to. So this is a loaded broadcast. And thanks to Doug for bringing it all. We're hopefully make it happen the best we can here. So good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Blaine.
Are we letting the clock run out?
Hey now. They are now in happy hour. They're going to probably do the 8-minute happy hour.
All right.
And how do I have this? I'll change that back to that. There we go. Yeah, quite the broadcast this evening. Stay tuned for the national anthem. And after that, we will send it to the Balser family for the Grand Marshal duties, and we will go green. Here, probably within the next 10 minutes, there's Randy Waugh. Did I have him written? I remember writing down Randy's name. Why would I do that? Oh, he's a sponsor of Race 8. Yeah, that's the thing. I messed up a little bit there on the scheduling screen.
Oh, okay.
Which says that race number 7 next week will be sponsored by Doug Hewlick. I forgot to change that name because that was race number 6, was what we're watching right now. Next week's sponsor will be Dan Lovell. Race number 7 will be sponsored by Dan Lovell, and race number 8 will be sponsored by Randy Waugh. And if you're seeing that schedule there now, also the Elmo 200 taking place April 13th. Check that one out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Links below. Go ahead, 56.
We'll be going off at the 7-minute mark. We just need to recuperate ourselves.
Roger that. We can definitely deal with 7 minutes.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, 7 minutes to go. Yeah, in the description below, you'll find all the links to the Elmo 200. The donations and everything generated by that event will go directly to ALS Association. There's like a store page down there. You can buy pieces of the broadcast.
How's that looking?
Pretty good. A few screens have sold, so we're already up to a few $100 because we put some pretty hefty price tags on they're not like crazy, 50. It averages between about $30 and like $300. So there's different, like the $300 one would put your logo right where you see Veterans Crisis Line. It's on the broadcast for like 90% of the broadcast. You'll see your logo on your website at the bottom. So we're like, let's just see if somebody wants to pay $300 for that.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's going to hit a lot of eyes because we are in cahoots with the ALS Association. I mean, I say we, but it's Kelly Causey. He's done,
the royal we.
Yeah, it's the generic.
We're taking credit for it, basically.
Yeah.
We'll slap our names on there and act like we were a part of the whole thing.
Right. It is what it is. It'll be
that's good though.
A lot of fun. So yeah, check the links in the description below. It'll take you to like a store page where you'll be able to like purchase, like it's like set up like a cart. Like, oh, how many do you want? Oh, I want one. So I can tell stuff sold out because we were only selling one Crank It Up screen. Well, somebody bought it. Somebody paid the $150 and they bought the Crank It Up. So that's off the list. You're out of luck. There's a dog spa and a marina. And a couple people bought some cars. So we're going to have to get Sullins or someone, Divins or Mobs or myself, somebody going to paint cars up for the people who buy the cars. I think the cars are $100 a piece. And then there's a donation link at the very bottom where you can input whatever you want. If you want to donate $1, you want to donate $1 million, you can select that down there. So yeah, going to be very, very, very cool. In cahoots with Kelly the Kazi. And speaking of which, let me see here. I'm trying to get my cool little drone camera to work, and it's not really doing what I want it to do this evening.
Not playing so nice with you.
Yeah, it's been dropping. I just need the game to come back. Oh,
come on!
I think it worked. It did.
Do your thing.
Yeah,
Please, you can talk dirty to it.
I like the drone cam because it allows us to do some cool stuff. So
absolutely,
we can definitely move these cameras around so they're in better spots. I never was a big fan of the pit entrance and exit cameras.
No,
they're just
especially
they're just kind of weird. They're in weird spots. So hey, with drone cam, we can move them around.
56.
Is 56 whispering me? Go ahead, 56.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there. Are you doing a flyover tonight?
Yes, sir.
10-4. Thank you, bud.
Yep, the national anthem and the flyover will be momentarily. Just getting a good angle here on pit entrance. See if that looks good. I think that looks good. We've also got to set up the... That is a cool looking truck, man, I tell you. Rodney Sullins making, of course, another banger. And like we said, too, the number 22 a day. You can see it written on the side of the truck there. Right. Unfortunately, 22 a day. Doug also informed us that there's 22 crosses on the car as well. Or truck, sorry. Let's get a good look at this thing. The Veteran Suicide Awareness Project on the hood. On the trunk lid, we've got the Veterans Crisis Line. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. One veteran suicide is one too many. And what's it say on the back? Veterans Crisis Line, dial 988 and press the number 1. There is not an inch of this thing. You know what's so cool? I just noticed. Huh.
What's that?
Rodney didn't put his stamp on the side of this truck. He stamps every single truck with his seal. But he didn't do it for this one. That's pretty cool. Very humble of him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, like all those contingency graphics that are on that truck and all the paint that's on the side of that thing. And there is nothing on there that says that Sullins painted it. I know Sullins painted it because when we're supplied with these graphics, which are, I think I know where it is by now. These graphics you see here, maybe not so much that one. I made that. That's an advertisement for the race. But the renders of the truck, Rodney knows how to do these paint schemes. He also uses these rendered scenes that were provided by a member in the community, James Hodge. So I knew it was Rodney because he uses these things. But anyway, we will get to the national anthem right about now, and we will then bring you back to some Grand Marshal duties from the Balser team and get this thing going.
I just wanted to quickly address something. I just had to look it up because I wasn't sure if it had arrived, because it was in the States before it got to Canada. The 988 number, that's actually now available in Canada as well, for anybody up here. I know there's a few races up here,
cool.
Obviously, but it wasn't for a while, and it took a little bit longer. So I know when it first came out, they said, "Oh, this is available," and then it was a bit of a not an upset. It wasn't available when it first got really big announced. And like, oh, this was here. I don't know if it was about a year ago we were talking about it, but
yeah,
it's only been in the last probably year or so that it's been active up here. So, anyways, it's just good that it's
so Canadian veterans
for
can
everybody.
also dial 988 and press 1 for some help too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Or you can go online. There's all
Yeah,
sorts of stuff, right? You can.
tons.
There's a website. I just quickly pulled it up, and they have this. Literally, I think it's called 988.ca.
That
But
works.
just Google that. Yeah,
All right, man.
988.ca or just 988 if you don't want to go to the website.
Cool. So that applies to Canada as well. That's awesome.
It was. I'm glad that was. We were lagging behind on that one. I guess there was plans, but I guess obviously they had to implement it however they could up here. So, anyways,
Yeah.
it seems like I hadn't checked in a while, but anyways, that's good to see that it is up there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good news. I didn't know that. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's do National Anthem and get going.
Cool.
Here we go. There we go. The national anthem has concluded, and we are getting ready to go green here. All the guys lining up on the back. Have not got the go-ahead yet. Wait for everybody to get in line here, and then we will go to... Did you retire your truck? Sorry?
I did, yes.
Cool. All right. Let's listen to the Balser family do their thing with the Start Your Engines Grand Marshal duties custom made for Talladega Nights and Tarnation TV. Take it away, Balser girls.
Welcome to Talladega Nights SuperSpeedway, one of the fastest tracks around. Presented by Talladega Nights Racing League and brought to you by Tarnation TV. Drivers, start your engines!
Thanks again to the Balser family for their Grand Marshal duties.
Absolutely. Always nice to have some fan interaction, participation, and or otherwise. It's less work that we have to do.
It is.
So keep it up.
Yeah.
No.
That is true. You're not hired, but we will take your free service.
Exactly. I know. We can't afford to pay you.
No.
You get paid in some merch when we get some, which is never. But
right. Pace truck has left the surface of the racing facility. I said that totally wrong.
It is headed home.
Yep. He had enough. He's going for a Starbucks. It's going to cost him $8 for
And
a
it
medium.
was
Whoa,
unethically
grande.
made. And those beans were like if there's blood diamonds, there's blood beans. And they were definitely blood beans from Starbucks. Those guys are shifty and unscrupulous.
That's why they're so expensive. They have acquired their beans
You
nefariously.
pay more because you can taste the sadness in the coffee.
Right. Yeah, those poor workers over there in Guatemala, just picking. I hope they make a ton of money, man, because we're just drinking all their coffee.
They're not making any money.
Probably not. I do it for
There's
the
some
love of the
guy
game.
right? Oh yeah, no, them. I was saying the bean pickers. I'm saying
The bean pickers, yeah.
They're getting paid less than us.
They are definitely
off to a good start, though.
Yeah. Looks like lap number 1 is going to be led door to door, but it's going to be Doug Hulick.
Right.
Running up there side by side with Ken Roberts. Roberts is getting the push there from Dan Lovell on the outside. But I mean, for the neck and neck for the first few laps until these guys start fanning out in the back, of course. They haven't gone 3 wide. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Yes, they have. Just as I said
Hold on.
it, they all skated out the side and all the lines just fell apart. So Ken was able to pull ahead there by a car length or by a truck length.
Yep.
I don't know.
Truck length? That would be appropriate.
I think so.
Falling up at the back of the pack there.
Oh, Dan just
Tom Dixon
abandoned
is
Ken.
Still in the draft, but just barely. A little bit of a slow start of the gate, or maybe he's just playing that at the safe at the back of the pack with these warming his tires up too.
That's possible too, yeah. Here comes the field.
Yeah, 3 wide in the middle of the pack here, but they left.
Yeah, why not, right? Might as well do it.
Oh, absolutely. Ooh, got
Currently
all
locked
left
on
alone.
there, the sponsor of last week's race, Perry Bond, in the purple and green Mountain Dew car, but we don't care. It's the Joker truck.
The Joker truck is absolutely it.
Yeah, we're 3 wide, about 6 rows back. Okay, so we took some bets before the race. Before the race, Jeff thought there might be 20 guys. I thought there might be 22, and you thought there might be 25 drivers tonight. Turns out there's 29.
That would have been you, because you went with 25. I opted 22. I thought it was going to be, because you said there was only 13, so I thought I'd be go between you and Jeff.
Oh, you're
So
right.
you would be the closest winner.
I put B equals 25 and then B equals 22, but our names.
You should have put me equals 25.
I probably should have done that. Yeah. Okay, so I won that bet. Yeah, you're right. There's 2 B's in the room. Whoops.
Whoops.
I'm
That's
always
all right.
I always aim high because these guys never disappoint. There's always a full field. Look at this. There's 3 wide from front to back.
Yeah,
There's
I was
3.
surprised. The only reason I thought that was because there were so few that early, but I guess everybody was just getting the most out of the extra day late hours, and then they're like, "Oh, still time to race."
Yep. It's 16 minutes to the top of the hour. We better get connected, and then they all flooded in here at the last second. There's another lap led there for Doug. 3
Alex
wide
Ortiz
in row
got
2.
Have a Coke and a smile on the deck of his trunk on the deck of the box, I guess, or where the box would be. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that slogan in a while. Yeah, tonneau cover. That'd be the closest thing as to what it would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the classic. Have a Coke and a smile.
Yeah.
That's been many years since I heard that one.
Yep. Wah latched right onto Hewlett up front there. Robert Breedlove behind him, man. Do you got the stats I sent you in that email?
Oh, I do. Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just hanging back here watching kind of the middle of the back there. 26 checking up a little bit. Oh, he's losing some big speed there. Robert Breedlove. The stats we got from there after last week's win, from 20th place to 8th in the standings so far this season. That's incredible. What a jump to end up there. Like a significant swing in points. It obviously goes to show you how close the standings are, in fact, though, at that point.
Yeah.
But amazing. Good for him. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that coming into this race with such a momentous change in positions that he's setting himself up pretty good for the playoffs.
And looking at the playoff run there, too, Breedlove hadn't missed a race. He did. He missed race number 3 with that provisional giving him 55 or 58 points. So that was a full house.
Right.
But then coming out here last week, leading the most laps, winning the race with 185 points, skyrockets him like 12 spots up that chart, dead center in the pack now for the playoffs. I mean, as I say, man, like don't come out here and think it can't happen, because he did all the right things last week and it gained him a dozen spots overall on that chart, that points chart. It's absolutely crazy. So now he's in contention. Same thing
That's
happened
awesome.
with,
He must be pretty happy with that.
Oh, it's nuts. When I saw that happen, I was like, wow, he's sitting in 20th and he just won this race. Plus the fact, too, that there was a handful of drivers in that top 12, 13 trucks that didn't even show up. There was 2 or 3 guys that didn't show up. So if that was the day to do it, that was the day to do it. Because you're not only people are showing up and they're racing, but like a couple of those guys not being able to make it. That's free points for the taking. And
right.
from 20th spot, I mean, if you're going to win a race and lead most of the laps, with a couple of omissions, you can definitely make that leapfrog, and it worked in his favor.
Oh,
big move
little
back
check
there.
up in the back of the pack there, but 3 wide, and everyone avoided that. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. If someone didn't show up, you got to make hay while the sun shines. You got to just leap on that opportunity. Like, sorry for your loss, but I'm going to go ahead and take all the points.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It looks like Divins is having trouble back there
in the Hot Wheels, in
the Napa truck.
Oh, who's just driving the wrong car?
Yeah, he just glitched out. It looks like he was having an internet problems. At least I think it's Frank in the 09 back there. Yeah. He was having some crazy connection issues. The truck was sweeping back and forth. And he did the right thing when he was getting connection issues. He got up to the wall and kind of lifted a little bit to get away from everyone. And luckily nobody got hit by that sweeping truck.
Made himself scarce there. And yeah.
And what I mean by sweeping too is the internet, like the connection between him and the race server, the server doesn't know where he is. So it's trying to predict. The worse your connection gets, the worse the prediction gets. So you'll go from the top line to the grass, back to the wall. And if in that sweeping motion, sometimes you can get stuck inside another driver and it causes a catastrophe.
Coming up on lap 10 and probably at least a couple laps out, 2 to 3 laps out between the first pit stop. But looks like everybody's got themselves pretty well positioned. That lower line has a few more cars on it. But
someone
yeah, holy smokes, they're close. Well, was there somebody already? I didn't even see. It could be, though. I mean, sometimes I wasn't.
Might be Tom. Usually Tom pits early.
Oh, it's getting squirrely at the back of the track there. Who was going sideways there? He's off the track down to the apron. Is that Paglia? Hang on, let me get a better look on. My camera's off. The number 97.
That'd be McCarskey, yeah. Number 97 of McCarskey?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
he is down there.
Trouble with my controls here this evening. It's an operator error. It's nothing else. I was just trying to figure out why I couldn't.
It looks like he was actually
the C and the V on the keypad.
It actually looks like he was having the same issues. He's having connection issues that sweep him across the track. So he did the same thing.
Pulling off down to the pits here.
Yeah. He might be just opting to take early service.
Yeah, his Pat McCarskey's quality is low. Unfortunately, he's sitting at 49, and so is Phil
Lacasse. Yeah.
Yeah, those two fellas look like they're having a little bit of issues, and then Javier is got a super high ping of 250. So thanks AT&T, you jerks.
Yeah, really, you jerky jerks. Currently focused there on the 80 truck of Eric Lovell. He just got that lap to be led. Leading a lap there. Eric was another one last week that made a big hop. Not as big as a hop as Breedlove did, but he is currently in the playoffs. Last week he came into the race in 14th. He was just on the cusp, and he had a good finish.
Yeah, he finished in 5th place last week.
Yeah, and now he's in 10th overall.
Qualified in 5th and finished in 5th, so he got a good strong start and was able to keep it there.
Right.
We got a bunch of 4-car trucks.
4-car trucks.
Donlin curses.
Yep.
We got 4-car trucks heading down into the pace lane, and
yeah,
I did it on purpose that time.
That's still funny though.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Right, and then so good for him. Right, 5th place finish. So and you said that bumped him up to where?
10th. So he went from 14th to 10th. So he was out of the playoffs, and now he's in. Just barely, but he's there
for sure. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And say hi to the kids, because every time he comes on the driver interviews, you can tell he's got a room full of people. How he drives this thing, I don't know.
Quiet, I'm trying to race.
I'm trying to race over here. You can hear the whole family going crazy. They're all coming in now.
We're getting a little bumping and grinding, but we're okay here. Holy smokes.
Look at that.
I was riding along with Paglia there, and he locked him up just to avoid everybody else. But
do you want to know how pitting is done? That's pretty much perfection.
Right.
There was about, probably 15. The whole rest of the field came in. It's probably 15 trucks.
Right.
And they all nailed that pit stop. Let me see if I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Looks like 15 or 16 trucks all came in, and smooth as mother's butter. Subtle hustle. There's the race off pit road. It's just as clean as the race in. Wow. If anybody says these guys aren't professionals, they're lying.
Big old liars.
Yep. Don't be big old liars. So who's in first? I have no idea. So far, it's Ken Roberts. But we've got a hot pack coming around the outside because that's the pack that would have been led by Hulick on the first cycle, the first major cycle. A couple guys did go early. They just blended back in there, back in about the 7th or 8th spot. So pretty strong pitting by that pack. It looks like Robert Breedlove is by himself. Uh-oh, I think Breedlove got a speeding penalty because he's already marked down as pitting once. So we're going to follow him on this pit here. And we're probably not going to see tires. We're probably not going to see anything. This might just be a pass-through. If it's a pass-through, it's a speeding penalty. It's a pass-through. So, yeah, he got a speeding penalty. That is highly unfortunate for last week's winner, Robert Breedlove. Under green flag conditions, under a pit cycle like that, if you get caught speeding, NASCAR officials would give you the black flag and you will be asked to drive through the pits at speed and out the other side, losing a crap ton of track position.
That is, in fact, the actual NASCAR preferred term, crap ton of space on the track.
Yeah.
Reading the YouTube chat.
Okay, yep.
I've got a note from Nate saying he's got a bad cold, watching from bed in, unquote, watching from bed in my blankie. Thanks for the Balser family intro. Cheers to Blaine and Brad, and have a good race all. So, yeah, I feel better, dude. That's kind of crappy. That's going around right now. I just got COVID part 2 for the second time, but it was much, much better than the first time. I highly recommend the second time because it was more like a cold and a flu compared to the first bout I had with it. It basically put me out of commission for a few days.
Yeah.
This was definitely a kinder, softer version 2.0.
Yeah.
So
nice little rub.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know what? If you had to get it, that's all right. But there's a wicked cold going around. That's not just that too, because the other members of the family got sick here as well, but nobody tested it for COVID. So far, Jen's like Ellie from The Last of Us. Like she can't get infected. She's got it exactly 0 times.
Oh wow! I had a sore throat. I had a sore throat.
We call her Novid.
I got Novid. I got 3 shots, so I should be all right.
Yeah, no, it's the same idea. I got
like a 3rd leg now, but I did
right.
3
Well,
shots.
yeah, and my phone. I finally got 5G on my phone, so we're laughing here.
Ooh, yeah. Brian Lovell leading the last couple laps, your new race leader. Creeping up beside him is the 56 truck, sponsored by Talladega Nights, Jeffrey Elliott. Phil Lacasse has retired.
Oh, because of his own internet issues. He seemed like he was having a bad go of that.
You were saying he had a quality issue, so his connection wasn't 100%.
No,
it wasn't 100% pure like those coffee beans we were talking about.
No, exactly. They were definitely that. That's unfortunate. He was down there with that.
That's his first time out here, too. We were looking forward to maybe talking to Phil, but...
Right? Yeah, Pat McCarthy still had the...
Focused on him for a couple seconds, and then he disappeared. Like we were going to... I had him in the back of the pack there.
Mingus
and then...
disconnected.
Gary Mingus?
His name's in the list, but he's got no ping or quality right now.
Oh, I'm showing him on the 22nd position, unless he just maybe.
I'm just looking in the entries right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see if I can find the 12.
Let's take a peek.
The 12's out there.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't have his.
Thanks a lot.
His
the game is a big old liar.
Yeah, his paint skin's not here, but I do have him.
Okay. No, weird. It's for some reason it just showed him up as he had no quality and or ping in the entries list. So I thought, oh, maybe that was. Anyways, glad to report that he is back. He is in fact on the track. So there we go.
Yep, he's back there racing with Steve Brandstetter. Jeffrey Elliott did get credit for a lap led. 2 of them, actually. So we've had a bunch of lead changes here already.
Right? That's
If I told you right now that the fastest lap on the track was 201.024 miles an hour with a 47.590 second lap by Graham McDonald, who would you think ran those numbers? Graham McDonald.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, who ran the numbers? I was going to say, if it's the numbers, it'd be the silly statistics. But if it's this case, my answer would be Graham McDonald.
Graham McDonald, 24 Mopar. Fastest lap
time.
Yep. Best lap of the race, 47.590. See if we can find the next closest one. 47.5.
Brian Lavelle holding the front down pretty close there.
Wow,
no one's making any real big moves on him.
Nobody's even close to 47.5. That's insane. The closest best lap to 47.5 is a 47.815 by Keith Bynum.
Huh.
Almost 400ths of a second faster from the Mopar truck of Graham McDonald.
You got those extra
in the top right corner.
Yeah,
the top right corner of your replay screen, you can see a driver's best lap if you're locked onto them. So 47.59 by Graham and a 47.8 by Keith. So
well, if you compare that right now to first place, which is Brian Lavelle, he's got 48.644.
Yeah.
Last lap, 48.286 was his best lap.
Yes, it's crazy. When you're in the middle of the pack, sometimes you do get the right bumps and pushes. You really tend to get faster laps sometimes. Oh, geez, this is lap 22, isn't it?
It began just right now.
Yes. Okay, so we will be silent for an entire lap from this point on. I will find the 022 and we will shut the mics off to show some respect for the fallen. There we go.
Thank you guys
because we are highly trained professionals here at Tarnation TV and can't count to 22. We were actually about a quarter to 50% through lap 22 when we realized that we missed the start of lap 22, so we apologize for that, but we got a lap and a half there of silence because unfortunately the average number of suicides among veterans per day, dude, 22 people.
That's way too high.
Yeah, buddy. So yeah, apologies to Doug for almost missing that 22nd lap. So we let you guys go around for a lap and a half. You give you a little bonus to try to make up for it. I guess I could have rewound it, but that wouldn't be live. So
no, it was, you know what, as close as can be. And then extra lap. And
that's the thing. I had a feeling with the excitement of the race that we were going to be like, we almost missed it. So
you get pretty close, right? Because you want to be like, if we were just counting the laps strictly until then it would have been, okay, stop talking right now because, you know what? It's live. these things happen.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed on the lap number 22 we were coming out of turn 2, so we made the best out of it. But we did warn you at the start of the broadcast that we might miss it by a couple, so it was way closer than I thought it was going to be. First or last pit stall, right to the front of the line. Doug Hulick. Pit stop number 2 for him. Looks like a full service with only changing one side. Here come the rest of them. We've got a little bit of a spinorama there, but it looks like Keith Bynum.
Oh.
Although it bounced back around straight. Oh, he held on to it. I don't believe yellow is up because that would happen off the racing line.
Yeah, no, so far nothing. Looks like we're still going. Crowd field pretty split up today.
Yeah, man, it's fantastic green flag racing here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's Javier Negron in the 22nd position right there, all by himself. Ken Huntsberry in 21st. Pat McCarskey in 22nd. Yeah, see, they're all just scattered.
Greg Lavelle currently in first, but who knows how long that'll stay for.
Jeez.
Not that he's not familiar with the front, but we'll wait and see once everything gets cleared out after the next everybody passes the line and see where they're at.
Hello.
Sorry, I have a feline that likes to chew cords, and she snuck in the room. I just had to shut the mics off and deal with it.
We had to make an emergency emergency decision.
Yeah, like, wait a second. Let's time for a commercial break. All I need is 2 hours. That's all I need.
Just need this cat to not be here.
Yeah, just not be here for 2
You're
hours.
going to spend the night outside.
Nah, so we abducted her from outside, so she ain't going back out there.
No.
Nope.
You're outside with like a leash, like a harness on or something.
Yeah, maybe.
You know how cats love harnesses.
Yeah, yeah, big fans.
Oh, man. Well,
these guys are keeping it tidy. It's amazing. The order that these guys are in now. Ortiz there is in 8th position. So I'm trying to find Tom Dixon in the 45s and 25th. He's a lap down. Jeff behind him is in 7th, 23rd, 24th, 5th. It's a very mixed up field right now. We've got lap cars peppered in with the leaders. We do have the leaders right here. Brian Lovell, followed by Dan Lovell, Ken Robertson, Eric Lovell, and Bobby Farrell. That is your lead pack.
that front pack is really pulled away. They're sort of a yellow. I don't know if anyone's going to be making a lot of headway on these guys, so unless they can get a run behind them or something. But
yeah, so I went through that last pit cycle. I think we're going to we will definitely need one more pit.
Well, there's a line of 7 cars coming in that second pack, so they're probably going to catch up to the Hot Wheels truck and then give them a push and give maybe those guys, because they're not that far apart, actually, now that I look back a little further. It looked like it was a significant gap until I turned the camera around.
Yeah. I think if we definitely have to make one more pit cycle to make it to the end, because we get that average of 12 to 14 laps on a tank of fuel, probably no tires. Or maybe one side of tires. And lap 30, let's see, if anybody makes a pit stop after lap 35, they will definitely make it to the end, which will probably be everyone. The question is, when do they do it? So lap 35 is now 12 from the checkered. So do you go early, and then maybe a yellow comes out and everybody else has to pit, and then you get the track position back to the front because you won't have to?
Right. What's the strategy there? Yeah.
Go as far as you can and then have to make a late splash and go. There's a few different strategies, and there is teammates out here. These trucks are clearing Frank Divens. He is back out on the track.
Jeff just got past him, and so did Ortiz and Oaks as well, or just about. So the pack is trying to heal itself, but I don't blame Frankie. That wouldn't be going nowhere either. Keep in the draft and hope for that lucky dog.
That's exactly right, because we don't run damage here. He's not damaged. He can go the same speed as all these other guys. He's only a lap down because he had some connection problems. So he doesn't really need to yield those spots for damage. And he is the first lap down. Him and Breedlove would be the two lucky dogs if a yellow were to come out, because they do two lucky. Let me check my rule sheet here.
There goes Doug Hulick making a pass too. He's trying to find his way to the front of the pack. Currently in 7th, looks like. Let's take a look. Currently in 9th. My mistakes. Counting is hard when you're low on the track. I wasn't in helicopter for a change. I was mixing it up.
Oh, nice.
Getting some of those chase driving there to see what's happening. That front of the pack, they're just a straight line. They're not going nowhere. No one's making any moves. Everyone's just conserving and keeping it together. Oh, a little bit of a gap towards the back of the pack there, but
yeah, I'm focused back on Ortiz there. He's in 7th, because that would be about where I would think they would fan out and try to take this thing too wide. I'm kind of anticipating like maybe Jeff or Bobby or Eric might swing to that high line to try to see if they can run these guys down. Try to maybe start up a line down the middle of the track.
No, so far they're just
they're looking, but
nobody's
nobody's
pretty straight. No one's making any big plays.
I think too, they all know they need to make one more pit stop, and they're creeping in on that because we had about a 25-ish sort of pit stop. So 35 to 40 is probably going to be the new window, I'm thinking, depending on how early some of these guys went in.
Right.
Basically,
well, then that makes sense too, because I mean, you wouldn't be more than 36. No, 13, 26, 39, I guess. That'd be like the latest possible, I guess, depending on when they went in to begin with. But at this point, too, if you're going lap back racing, and if you can get just enough to carry you back there, and I don't know, I guess we'll wait and see if you're going to get a yellow or not, too. That'll be the difference of that. I'm following Perry Bond here. He's trying to catch up to the pack, and he's just on the outskirts of getting the draft there, I think. I think he's... Oh, here's our people going
Jeff.
down for...
See, Jeff's peeling down there now.
Holy smokes. All right.
Jeff's peeling down there now at the start of lap 35, so he probably can make it to the end. I don't think he would have gone without realizing how many laps are left. So anybody who's going in there now should be able to make it the rest of the race to lap 47 under green. Of course, yellow will lengthen that time frame if one should fly.
So clean, right? We've got nothing indicating, like there's been a couple close calls, but
I love this stuff though.
Consummate professionals, as they are.
These, I mean, we love the big catastrophe wrecks because they look great, and we always try to find a guy who kind of weave through it. But these green flag cycles are a lot of fun because it really breaks. Okay, see, nobody took on that one.
No,
nobody went down there. So Jeff's all by himself then. Here comes the pack, and Jeff is now re-entering. So these guys are going to have to probably leave Jeff behind. Jeff has to stay down on the apron there.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Merges out onto the back straightaway. So Jeff
and then, behind him is Alex Ortiz, but he's probably almost like 7 to 8 seconds behind him, I would guess, at that point.
Yeah, Jeff is way back. I'll put the stats from the top 10 from the leader up in the top left of your screen there. Tom Dixon's going down into pit road too.
Yep.
So I think Jeff may have had that same thought, what we were talking about, like where we run the math at the start of lap 35, you can make it to the end. Maybe he went knowing this tank can take him to the end of the race. Go in early,
strategy.
Blend back into the pack, and be out there.
Act like he belonged.
Yeah, it's strange.
Nothing to see here, boys.
Yeah, like you just kind of maybe just disappear for a couple laps, and everybody forgets about you. Because now if he got tires, we didn't see exactly what he got. Black flag showing for Garland Oaks. He's already a lap down, so he's going to have to pit to serve that one. Everybody's staying out again. Garland Oaks in the 67, showing that he has a black flag. Also shows that he's pit 3 times, which means last time down, it looks like he might have got a speeding penalty. Ken Huntsbury coming down pit lane. That's a shame for Garland.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
3 more trucks coming to pit lane. Looks like Greg, Steven, Avier, everybody else.
Race leader, we've got a yellow on the track.
Do we have yellow flag?
It's got to be, yeah, no, definitely. There was,
We do.
unless he stayed out. He was spinning out, but I think it happened too much on the track. It was below the yellow.
It's up, though. Yellow's up. Someone did slide back out, though.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. It's spinning out there. Drats, they're so close to being,
yeah.
Well, race back, but not the winner. Obviously, we're going to go green after this.
Yeah, this isn't, we're in a race back situation now, but.
Okay, let's take a look at that, because how many drivers did we have that were, where were we? Lap standings. We got, there's like almost half the pack is a lap down. So how does Lucky Dog work in that instance? I don't think I've ever seen it.
The first two.
Okay, well, in that instance, it's the Joker himself, Mr. Perry Bond, and the U-Man, Papi Sandoval.
Yep.
So there we go.
Oh, it looks like everybody was going in there, and Robert Breedlove just clips the 77. And that's the reason for the yellow, because the 77's trunk was hanging out into the lane there. It almost, he's spinning out on the line, and you can see a bunch of cars that were committed to pit road now changing their minds and staying out, because that will close pit lane. I would have to, unfortunately, give that one to the 931 of Robert Breedlove, being the incident. So he rear-ended the 77 on his way to pit road. Just barely, though. No choice for the 80.
Yeah, if we're following the old adage of, like you're the one, the rear ender caused it, but obviously that's not always good. I'm just going back myself just to take a peek and see what's happening here.
Right.
But I would defer to your judgment call, because obviously you've been calling these things for a lot longer. I'm just flipping around here on the replay myself just to see, but I think you're probably right on that one, because it looked like he came down.
They're
both down a bit low in that lane.
Yeah, they're both going for the pits, and everybody has a different break point. And he was clear of them, but he just touched him, So it's like definitely not malicious. It's just a game of inches, and that time it just went the wrong way.
Right.
Because I've seen guys pass there too, because guys will brake harder and you can actually get around them if you can cut back in before that cone.
Right.
I've seen guys do it many times, and that might have been what Robert was aiming for, but just miscalculated just a little bit. So
don't beat yourself up over it. It happens to the best of us.
The gavel,
it wouldn't happen to me, but that's only because I don't race. That's not because I'm good.
The gavel has come down. Gong gong.
Fingers have been pointed. At this point, they cannot be retracted.
Take that, Robert.
Yeah.
We should scroll an advertisement
You've
here
made
for
a
the
powerful
upcoming
enemy today, my friend.
the upcoming mega event. I'm going to put this on your screen right now. The Mega Marathon Team Race coming up on the March 23rd in the next few weeks.
Not to be confused with the super awesome, unending, never-ending perpetual race.
No,
which is coming up always and forever.
Yeah, that one's been going on for years. It's still not over.
Still not over. Waiting for the results on that one. I like the. I dig the art.
Thanks, artificial intelligence.
Give me a skull.
Yeah,
with some spikes.
If anybody wants to mess around with artificial art, Leonardo.ai.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I just told it to give me a flaming spiky skull face and nebula exploding.
Create the heaviest image known
Yeah.
to man. That is so, but that's not heavy enough that my computer couldn't upload the file.
Right.
Okay.
So the teams
This
are
file
scroll-
is three terabytes
Yeah.
and super awesome.
You need to buy more hard drives. The teams are scrolling by. You can see the drivers have already been selected for their teams. I believe there's 8 teams. So it'll be a full
Okay.
40-car race and 2 broadcasters. So there you go. 42 race server will hold everyone involved. And this mega marathon team race, so these teams will compete at 3 different tracks with a total of 7 races. So we're going to do 3 races at California 05. We're going to do 3 races at Homestead Night, and we're going to do 3 races at Talladega Nights. No, that's too many races. We're going to do two races at California, 2 races at Homestead, and then the 3 races at Talladega Nights SuperSpeedway, which is where we are right now. So super cool variety. All these teams, you're only allowed to enter a couple teams into like the first. Let me see. Every team will be in the first 6 races, but you're only allowed to enter 2 drivers per team, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then that decides like the order of the final main event. So every race will be a sprint race. So super short, 10 to 15 lap sprint races. And then the final race will be a main event. I believe it's 47 laps, much like you're watching right now. So the broadcast will be a little bit longer, but I think it'll be a lot of fun because we'll be going to different tracks, watching different drivers from all the teams racing each other on their way to this main event at the end. Every single race that we run that night, which there will be 7, points will be combined from all races for a grand total to see which team wins this event. So,
okay.
Yeah, we're not really going to be able to calculate all this live on the broadcast. It would be impossible because there's too many. Each race would need to be reviewed by the administrators to see, penalties and stuff. We can keep track. We can give you a loose estimate, but of all those, of course, the results are always unofficial until race control comes back with the final verdict.
Right. So don't put any money on it, or at least don't claim your bets until.
Well, I mean, our pens will be running out of ink because we'll be keeping track of which team kind of wins, but we don't really know which team wins either because you don't know if a certain driver got a penalty. So
right.
That whole thing, but
that old chestnut. Yeah. Ken Robertson lead, getting some points there on the lap.
Okay, wait a second here. Are we in a wave around situation? Because these.
Looks like the lights are
Ulysses,
off.
Jeffrey, Alex. This is a wave around situation right here. So these are the drivers that pitted before that yellow came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll click back onto the race. We aren't under green yet. This is what we call like a wave around situation. These were the trucks that pitted. And then when the yellow came out, these guys didn't need to pit, but got trapped by the pace car.
Oh.
So they were in front of the leader, but behind the pace car. So these guys have the option to either pit again or take a wave around because they don't need to pit again. This is them taking the wave around. So they will come back around to the tail end of the pack, which will put them back. They were always on the lead lap. It's hard to explain.
Why wouldn't they just have them just drop back? Just like go to the top line, drop back, and
no,
just
because
get the
then
race
there would be a
going.
lap down, right? Like Jeff, technically these guys weren't a lap down. The leader was behind them. The leader hadn't passed them.
I don't understand all your rules.
Yeah. So the leader hadn't passed them because these guys didn't need to pit.
No, I get you. Yeah. So they're kind of in the
they're in front of the leader on the lead lap, but they can't go anywhere because the pace car is there. So they just took their wave around. So now they're back where they're supposed to be. So this will be a run to the finish.
We'll be going green here.
Yeah, and your leader will be Ken Roberts. Yeah, so Ken Roberts will lead these guys to. Yeah, and Branstetter and Mingus got the lucky dog.
Oh, okay. Then I was mistaken there because I thought.
Or was it Mingus? No, it might have been Perry Bond and Javier, actually. Let me see. get back to Javier Negron.
Well, right now this still has Javier and Perry as in 21st and 22nd, each being a lap down right now. Brandstetter and Mingus are 2 seconds are at the back of 19 and 20, and somehow maybe it must have obviously been a jockey for position. Ulysses was actually in 15th now, so he wasn't part of that anyway. So, or maybe
Ulysses was part of the waiver round situation. Yeah, Ulysses, Jeff,
so
Alex, Greg, Steven, and Mingus.
Cool. Well,
Steven
we are green again in
yeah.
the last 4 laps, and
everybody's good on fuel because that Jeff went in pretty early, but those yellow flags definitely lengthened his fuel tank, so he's fine. Everybody's fine on fuel.
And plus, he was taking his little shortcut beneath the track as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can
3 wide. These guys are trying to find something and make something happen.
Yes, they are, to say the least.
Trying to get around Ken Roberts, which shouldn't be a problem because he's only about 4 tracks wide. So
Ken in that position this late in the race is going to be a hard one to pass, but looks like they're tucking out on him. They're getting down to it now.
I was going to say, unless they just straight up abandoned him on that bottom line.
They all did, except for Mark. Mark stuck with them.
All right.
Oh, man, they put the run on him. They actually got him. Keith Bynum is actually in front of Ken right now.
All right, well, he got the support on the bottom line there anyway, so at least we'll be able to give him a bit of a shove.
Where's Keith going to go? Back to the bottom.
Okay.
Get pushed by Ken.
It's getting
Ken has to
bumping,
check
little
up.
door banging here in the front of the pack. This is getting intense.
Yeah,
Look
buddy.
out.
Intense, just like at the campsite.
Intense.
Get it? Inside
Exactly.
a tent? Yeah. Sorry.
Inside a tent.
Intense. Plural.
I get it.
Yeah,
Son of a gun.
buddy.
Took me a minute there.
It's like when you have one tent and then you have 2 tents. It's getting intense.
Right. Yeah. So you're overwhelmed or underwhelmed, but currently I'm just whelmed.
Yeah, no, nothing to do with actually being overwhelmed. Keith cannot pick a lane.
Oh no.
And he might turn himself if he keeps trying.
Oh my! Oh, there it goes. This is it. Who's coming for it? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God! I think it was Dan Lovell that just won the race.
Yeah, Ken Roberts came in third. It was.
I think it was Dan.
Was it? Let's go back and take a peek here. I'll tell you.
I think Dan got him. Dan did get him. It's showing me first place for Dan Lovell at the line with a yellow coming out in the tri-oval. And I do believe from camera angle number 2 here, I'll put it in slow motion.
Right here. Yeah, I'm just looking myself. So we've got, where's the camera?
The yellow will go out.
ATV dude grabbing number.
Right there,
ATV.
so.
And Ken Roberts in third. But just barely. Like if you look at the 63 and then the 55, like obviously someone's got to come in, but like 3 wide like that. Holy cow. What a
and at the line you can see the yellow flag will come out before these trucks get to the line, and that'll lock Dan in for the win as they are wrecking behind him. Randy will finish this race on his roof. Wow. What a run. What a run. That was going to be a wild finish either way. But we have to put blame on someone. So who caused this? It's probably you.
Oh, I didn't even get that far back. Yeah, so Keith Bynum with number 2 and then Ken Roberts for the third. Let's take a peek. Let's go
Eric
back a little bit further.
Eric Lovell in the 80. And I'll see where the checkup starts, though.
The checkup started around like 45, 37. That's where I'm starting to see people getting out of shape.
Like Keith gets out of shape and checks the field up a little bit. And then Eric just scraping. I mean, I don't know, man.
But who's the first person to hit, though?
Eric scraped the bumper, causing the 24 to turn. But, I mean, I don't know who you give it to.
I got to go with that, though.
I got to say the 80. I mean, the only reason I'm saying the 80 and not somebody up in those front rows is because there's no one behind the 80. He could have checked up a little, but he had no one behind him. I mean, this is all happening at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know it's super easy to pick apart in slow-mo.
Yeah. Like,
but
look
I
at
will.
man, he bumped him. I'm like, yeah, but when you're 4 wide coming out of the tri-oval at 199 miles an hour, it's so hard to do anything.
All right.
He did have a full line behind him with no cars. I mean, I would lean more on the Eric Lovell incident there, but I mean, I hate to do that just because it's just one of those racing deals.
It's because you're a nice guy.
Nice guy.
I don't hang out with these guys, so I'm going to say firmly and forwardly, it's number 80's fault and suck it. No,
take it and go.
I can take that. No, it happens, right? But sometimes you take the lumps and
yeah, that late in the race too. It's a tough one, like you said.
Everyone's
going for the checkers.
Everyone's going all out, right?
Yeah.
So I understand it. I could see why it happened, but unfortunately, it's one of those things. But like, yeah, I guess you just got to be like,
you're gaining all your momentum back, and it's like you don't want to lift.
No, I don't blame.
Because it is a race back. You know, what are you going to do? It's a race back. Try to get there, especially when it's that close to the line. Like, look, this is a race back situation. Like, it's wide enough there to go 6 wide. So why not go 4 wide? Yeah. A fantastic race, though. Really
Amazing.
only
So clean.
one yellow, because that one ended the race. So it would have been the one that happened before to really put us in a wave around situation with like 6 or 7 trucks. The season will be over by the time I don't say cars.
Just
but like that a wave around situation, including that many drivers, is super cool. Because they can clearly make it on gas. They pitted early, lining themselves up for something exactly like that. And, guys like Javier, unfortunately, a lap down, Ulysses way back there to 13th finish for Jeff. So it didn't really pay off. But guess who it paid off for? Paid off for Dan Lovell.
Paid off for the winners.
Dan Lovell in the 388. We'll give him the flag and play some music. Music made by our good friend here at Tarnation TV, Jonathan Berry. Check him out on Instagram at Woven Warrior 28. And on Twitter X, but nobody cares about that website anymore.
Yeah. If we say F Twitter, I would say FX. But
you're right, yeah.
And Elon, if you're watching, you can go piss up a rope and kick some rocks. In no particular order. Yeah, big old billionaire jerk face. Why don't you
in the smoke? There is a 38 truck, a 388 truck.
Is there?
It's hard to see. Oh, there's a thank you rub by Jeff Elliott.
Good racing. When in doubt, and there's a bunch of smoke like that, the best thing I learned was from that documentary is to drive right through it.
Straight into it, yeah.
Yeah. There was an accident that got caused a couple of weeks ago up in Canada. I think it was in Alberta or something like that. It was in a snowstorm. They couldn't see, and it was like a complete blizzard conditions, and it was like a 30-car pileup because everyone just kept going because that's how you're supposed to do it. They watched Days of Thunder. They knew what was up. Just keep the hammer down.
Oh, it was Days of Thunder, your documentary you were talking about?
Oh, yes, of course. That was the
documentary. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Don't lift. Drive to where the cars are because they won't be there when you get there.
Right.
56, Elliott to the booth.
Oh, you're in the booth. Mr. Elliott is in the booth.
I have the
lock
keys.
That door, Brad.
I have the keys to the whole
we changed
freaking facility, boys.
We
Just remember
changed
that.
the locks. How did you do
You
it?
got the new keys.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. That works.
Well, you know what? I got bolt cutters here. Work just fine.
I guess, yeah, I got the key to every store in the city. I got a brick. Oh.
I got a brick, a crowbar. Anyways, guys, hey, we're going to get 4th place down here quickly for a quick interview. And then
Mingus?
Mr. Mingus will have the pack toys ready by then.
Gotcha. Let's do 4th.
I'll go grab, that would look like Brian Level.
Yep, Brian, Ken, Keith, Dan. What an awesome race that was.
Fantastic. You know it was good because somebody went and clicked on the thumbs up button on the YouTube channel, which
rarely happens.
Yeah, no, it was me, but I still did it, and I think it's important
counts.
that it was done.
Brian, you got us, buddy. Congratulations, man. 4th place finish tonight. What a race that was. You know, I mean, there was 2 yellows, but I just kind of count that as one because that last one ended the race. But phenomenal race in here as always. The green flag cycles, and yeah, what did it look like from your perspective?
Oh, it was wild, man. It was a fun race.
Yeah, it's always so much. I love the green flag we've been having the last few weeks, actually, spreading you guys out. We don't know who's where. And with no damage, you've got lap guys drafting perfectly fine with leak lap trucks. It's all around a great way to do it. You know, every series here is a little bit different, and this is the one with no damage, and it lends itself to some different racing for sure.
Yeah, it was all the way around exciting, man. There's a lot going on. We were short pitting a couple laps, and I was like, man, every time I short pit, caution comes out. And sure enough,
yeah,
it happened again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's good though, because at least this race, if you short pitted, you still had enough fuel to get to the end. And it almost worked. I mean, you got 4th. That ain't too shabby out of 29 drivers.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all, but still, it's I'll take 4th any day. I led quite a few laps. I'm not really sure how many I did lead, but it was a good bit.
Yeah, it was. Let me see. I can actually check. Leading some laps. We were all over you. Yeah, you led the most, 22. So you got the bonus points. So you're basically
Cool.
tied. Yeah, you got the 170 points tonight where you're leading the most laps. Took me a second to
That'll
find
move me
the
up a little
results.
bit. Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
move
man.
me up in the points a little bit.
Yeah, they all count. That's a good way to do it too. Yeah, you were up there
Yeah.
a lot of the day.
Well, this race was in honor for the veterans and all that, and it's a privileged race, you know, with these guys. But it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. I'd run another. I like to do 100 laps right now.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I was telling Jeff, he can probably hear me talking right now. Like a full 100%. I don't even know if I could do that anymore. I need to buy a new chair. I need to pull the seat out of the car and use that.
Well, you know what? We're
Invest in the seat cushion.
Yeah, we're way too old for that, right? Yeah,
I think so.
I could do 100%. But hey, real quick, congratulations on your 4th place finish. Thanks for coming out, honoring Doug Hewlick and the veterans. Very emotional night. I got a little choked up myself, but listen, the damage is off, guys, and look how we drove tonight with 27 trucks.
29.
So,
27. You're right. 27.
Yeah, 27. So, you know what? Damage on or damage off. These boys are driving excellent tonight. So, kudos to all these guys that came out tonight. Anybody that might have watched, couldn't make it tonight. Wish you were out here. We had a good one. But, hey, I'll let you finish up with BL in the house. And can you get the rest of the guys,
Yep.
starting with Gary next?
Yep, I can handle it. I'll grab Gary for the stats after. Yeah, man. If Brian, if you want to wrap it up with any shout outs you want to do, and yeah, the floor is for you.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my Wolfpack teammates, Brad Otto and Adam Simonic, Ed Finley. Lord, there's a few other ones, but and also Big Stone Gap Racing and all the veterans. Jeffrey, you and your family, man, I've got heartfelt feelings out to you all, praying for y'all, and I just want to thank you, Brad and Blaine, for what you do, and anybody out there watching that would like to come and race with these guys, just knock on the doors. All you got to do. Yeah, you guys have a good night, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Brian. And we move up the list to Gary Slingshot Mingus with the silly slingshot statistics. Did I say that right?
Pretty close.
Yeah, how silly can they be? It was a great race, a top-notch bunch of drivers, purely professional as professional can be. And my hats off to all veterans, even including myself, who was a 22-year veteran of the United States Army and Army Reserve with 2 deployments. Our congratulations go out to Dan Lovell, who was our winner tonight in the 388. And the top 5 fastest laps are as follows. In the 5th position, Alex Ortiz did a 47.593 second, 201.206 miles per hour. He did that on lap 30. In 4th place was Graham McDonald, did a 47.590 second lap at 201.219 miles per hour, lap 16. In 3rd place, our founder and owner, Jeffrey Elliott, 47.590 seconds, 201.219, tied actually in miles per hour with Graham McDonald on lap 30. In 2nd place, Garland Oaks, 47.581 seconds at 201.257 miles per hour on lap 30. And the fastest lap of the night, go to our sponsor, Mr. Doug Hewlick. Doug did a 47.554 second, 201.371 miles per hour. Again, that was done on lap 30.
Wow.
Our most laps led for the night were Brian Lovell. He led 21 laps. Doug Hewlick led 8. Ken Roberts led 5. Dan Lovell led 5. Eric Lovell led 3. And the following people all led 1, which was Randy Waugh, Greg Lovell, Ken Huntsberry, Keith Bynum, Jeffrey Elliott, and that was entailing in that race 17 league changes amongst 10 cars. Hell of a race. Thank you, sir.
I think most of those lead changes came in the first like 5 laps. It was wild.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm.
Sorry to
And
cut you off
that
there, Gary.
is your that's okay. That's
I get excited. I apologize.
It's easy to get excited when it races like this. My hearts go out to all of the veterans and that Veterans Crisis Hotline. As one who has been in crisis before, reach out. I tell all veterans, reach out. There's somebody there that will help you. If you'll just be patient and hang in there and be tough, everything will be just fine.
Yeah, that's awesome to have these hotlines. And Brad actually found out during the race that number works in Canada as well. They finally got it hooked up. So, yeah, it doesn't just apply to the United States. It works up north of the border as well. So, military personnel everywhere, let her rip. There's help out there for you guys and girls.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Yeah, that's great. That is absolutely wonderful. So, my hat's off to you guys for putting on this race, Doug for sponsoring it, and that is your slingshot silly statistics for the night.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Gary, for the silly statistics. I'll never be able to say that properly. It's a tongue twister. Have a good night, Gary.
Right.
Thank you.
Gary Mingus with the silly stats for the race. I'm just going to say stats. The word statistics will just make me trip on my tongue.
I think that's
every
part
single
of the silly stats.
It's like you can't say a word. You don't know how to spell a word. You just change the word.
Or just say it really fast.
That's what I do.
Silly
Exactly. What's all this poppycock? I'm like, I don't know. It's shenanigans. Whatever.
Hullabaloo.
Yeah. Brouhaha. Ken Roberts in 3rd position, podium. Finished this evening. Congratulations, sir. Leading 5 laps. Brian Lovell dominated the laps led, but everybody got their share of the front line.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting race. It got real dicey there at the end. Keith was trying to find a place, and everybody was trying to get settled in or whatever. And yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was a good race though overall. What do we have? 2 cautions? 1 or 2 cautions?
It was 2, and the second one ended the race in like the last 2 laps. So yeah, it was fantastic. Green flag pitting as always. You guys, man, you spoil us rotten here up in the booth watching this stuff, and it's a lot of fun to call the green races, you know, as much as it is to see
awesome.
the big wrecks. It's exciting both ways. You know, you get the green flag pitting, and I think there was the one sequence there. There was I counted about 16 of you guys come down under green and flawless pit stop.
I can't wait to see that. They were talking about it on TeamSpeak. They, you know, how good that pit stop was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna watch the broadcast and see how that was. But yeah, that last stop, I took a tank. I only took one tank, and I was gonna gamble a little bit. I figured if I can get out in front or up front anyway, you know, stand a better chance. But yeah, it was a pretty exciting race. This is a very much a fuel mileage race. You know, you mind your P's and Q's through the race, and just try to be there at the end, you know, for the shootout.
Right. Yeah. The 3X with the 47 always comes down to I think that's a strategic number too. It's a different fuel strategy when you start switching that stuff around, and the no damage is fun because you guys can get, especially with the green flag stops, you're peppered in there with some lap cars that can still run at the same speeds, and you know, you can latch on with anybody, you know, even if they are a lap down, and not be worried about them being damaged.
Yeah, when we come out of I guess it would have been the second pit stop. I come out and I hit the F2 and I start scrolling, and you can just see all the little packs that are together, you know, and you can kind of do it, you know, the math in your head. Okay, that group's going to get with this group. Okay, that's going to make an 8-man group or an 8-truck group. You know, they'll run down these guys because I think after that second pit stop, I think Brian and Dan was I think they were a whole second, almost a second and a half in front of me and Eric. And I was like, "Come on, Eric, get with us." You know, the two of us will be able to run them down. But so I was thinking, okay, there'll be us, and then the next thing you know, there's 12 of them. So it turns it right back into a big pack.
See, okay, so you are really under green flag sequences like that. You're really riding that F2, kind of watching who you're going to have to be looking for in that mirror then.
Oh yeah, well, plus two, you know, when I seen that and Eric was behind me, I'm like, man, I'm right smacking a fat, big old Lavelle sandwich. I was like, at that point, you know, you just hang on, you know, you try to stick with them and stuff, and ride it out till you have to, you know, pit again. But yeah, it was a fun race. Super awesome what Doug was doing with the sponsor. You know, anytime they can do something for the vets, you know, we got a lot of military in our family, and you know, my father-in-law had a quadruple bypass surgery at the VA hospital in Cleveland, and the doctors and nurses were just phenomenal.
Wow.
You know, just really good care.
Quadruple, you said. Quadruple, yeah. All of them.
Yep. He had everything done.
Shit.
His heart was about to quit on him. And he was an Army guy. And he had a guy come in. He was actually a Marine. And my father-in-law, he asked him, he said, "You sure you know where you're doing?" But yeah, it was good. He had really, really good care. I was very impressed. It's actually the first time I'd ever been in a VA hospital, and I was really impressed with the care and the staff.
Yeah, that's awesome. They actually have hospitals dedicated to that, eh?
Yeah,
yeah.
So he carries. I think all his insurance is through the VA. You know, I think that's what he carries is the VA, and they take really good care of him. He's getting up there in age, and I don't know, a couple months back, he was up on a ladder. I'm not sure why, but he was, and he come off of it and ended up breaking his back. And they took very good care of him. They actually transferred him to a different hospital that specialized more in that. And it was down in Florida, and they live in Georgia, but they took really good care of him. I've been impressed with it so far.
That's excellent. Yeah, you hear some horror stories sometimes, and that's all you really focus on. But the majority of the thing sounds like it works pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a government system, so it has its flaws. But I was impressed with the two things that I've been with firsthand. With my father-in-law, and like I said, it was pretty impressive.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I was looking at, like we were saying before, Brad looked it up, and this hotline that exists in Canada as well, the dial 988 for the help. And I don't believe, Brad, we don't have like veteran dedicated hospitals up here. I don't think.
I don't believe we do, but you know what? That's worth a look. I'll take a peek as we're here. But I don't. I to the best of my knowledge, I mean, maybe out your way, but I don't think out at least in BC, I don't think we have.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Maybe, but they have veteran affairs in Canada, so maybe they have like I don't know to what extent. I never friends of mine had served, but we never have really gotten to the nuts and bolts of it. But I would guess that maybe Veteran Affairs Canada could help maybe with something like that. Maybe not. I don't know if they get involved in the medical services or the mental health, but
yeah, I can't speak on it either. I haven't had any experience with it, but it sounds like a great setup.
Hopefully they're, it sounds definitely like they're definitely taking more steps to improve upon it. And if perfect's the enemy of good, right? So we gotta, work with what we have and improve upon it and bring awareness to it, right? That's even just talking about it and getting it up like it was today. It's good. All you can really do, I guess, or all we can do is more than anything.
Yeah. It's super cool that, the stuff works for the people. And that's all you want to hear too. If somebody's sick, they can go get help and there's no messing around. Let's do it and do it right. And, care for these people.
Yeah. I mean, they signed that blank check. So, But anyway, hey, thanks guys for all you do. I can't wait to watch the broadcast. I heard about the flyover. I heard it was pretty badass. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully we brought it. So yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
But I'd like to give the congrats to Dan for winning the race and for Keith running second. That's fun running up there with them guys. And Keith was bouncing around, moving around, trying to, pick the fast lane. And he got down there and we got together a little bit. And I seen the whole side of his truck. Which, you don't want to wreck a guy in that situation or whatever. You don't want anything bad to happen. But he gathered it back up and kept her going. So it was a fun, exciting finish there.
I'm gonna pick up the cleaning bill for all of them's front seats.
Yeah, really. New upholstery for everybody in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Well, nice job there, Keith. Now I can jump out of here and see you guys later. And good job there, Keith.
Thank you, buddy.
See you guys.
Thanks, Ken. Have a good night.
That's good, bud.
Keith Bynum, second place finish, man. Led a lap as well. Everybody's sharing the front of the pack here a little bit tonight. It was an awesome run, man.
Yeah, it was just an awesome race. That's what I got to say about that. It was. I got shuffled back, worked my way back up. Had a great time. That last couple, 4 laps there. I had wind in my mind. I didn't have none of my guys that I run with. They didn't show up tonight. Tonight was I don't know what was going on, but I didn't have no specific anybody to run with me. So when I was up there, I had no idea who to go with, who to what. And I was up there right at the front for them last few laps. So I was shuffling for the fast. I had the speed to move around. So I was shuffling around trying to keep the fastest line. And anyway, like to wrecked a couple of times, but saved it and got second place. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we were mentioned on the broadcast of like, man, Keith doesn't know where he wants to be because you had that momentum and you were just picking the right spots and you kept getting the right pushes and we're just out in front of everybody. And yeah, it was a wild finish, man. It was an awesome run.
Honestly believe if I hadn't have raced it like that, I just really didn't. There was too many others working against me, not just trying to beat me, but, other lines, the Lovels running their line, Paglia and Ken Roberts, their line, and then the other line was coming around on the third side. And like I say, all I knowed is I was wanting a chance to win it myself, and I had to do what I had to do. I apologize to all of them for the messes in their seats, but that was just part of the ride.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like, where are you going, Keith? We're like, everybody's losing it back there. But yeah, it was. It's fun to watch, man. I love the, sometimes it gets a little erratic, and the high speed just makes it that much more exciting to watch.
Yeah. One thing I want to say on, tonight, for the veteran crisis thing, everything for the care veterans get. My daddy, he's passed away now, but he was a lifetime Navy man. He CB, military patrol, veteran hospital took care of him a lot through his life with different things where back when insurance just wasn't that great and stuff. So I've always been thankful for what our country has that a lot of other places don't have. And they still say it ain't enough. My daddy's one of the ones that would always say that, they didn't have the care they need. They need more. And I can't go political on here, so I can't say we get fresh somebody in there. We'll get some extra help here in the United States. But anyway, we'll leave that alone.
Right on, man. Yeah, no, it's an awesome cause, and thank you to everybody who serves always. It's great what these people do for the countries that they live in, and the help is there. It might not be perfect, but at least it is available.
Yeah, thank Doug Hewlett for putting this on, and I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Go Trump. All right, guys. Thank y'all for hosting. It was fantastic. I can't wait to sit down and watch it because I told the guys tonight I feel like we really put on a good show for who was watching it.
Yeah, there was a few people. Yeah, there was a few people watching. We got about 100 hits tonight. So yeah, it was a big hit.
Go Trump. I'm going to say Trump wouldn't get out of the helicopter when it was raining to go visit soldiers' graves. So I don't think you're going to be getting any support from that guy. If we're going to make it political, I'm going to shut that shit down. No, none of that. Boo and have a good night. That's enough of that.
Okay.
Wow. That come from your co-host.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Yeah,
well, you're going to run your mouth and talk.
I didn't say nothing but 2 words. I'm sorry.
You said 2 words too many, so
goodbye.
You're done.
Not everybody. Good night. I apologize to anybody.
No, you don't, because you still said it. So here we are.
Wow.
You said what you weren't supposed to say, and then you act amazed. Give your balls a tug. Fuck's sake. I'm over.
Danny, you there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, guys.
It's a hot topic up here, up north of the border, the Trump guy, because he's,
No, the rule is there's no politics in the racing, and he broke the rule, so he's out of the broadcast, and he won't be up next time. If he wins, then he can sit down there and think about what he did. It's a simple rule.
Things you usually try to steer clear of.
We do.
It is. It's just not. It doesn't need to be brought up. We're not here about that, and he doesn't want to hear my take, and I don't want to hear his, and nobody else does either. So let's keep it about racing, and
we
that's
try to
all it
keep
is, just a reminder.
Religion and the politics out of it, But
sure,
yeah, man, the racing was awesome, and again, you got 5 laps on there led too. Like everybody we talked to tonight seems to have led something, and the invocation was fantastic too. By the way, I got so many notes beside me. I hope I got to everything. We almost missed the silent lap 22, but we got my cat going crazy again. Okay, you're coming. Come here. You're going to meow, do it on the microphone. Now she's not going to make any noise. But yeah, Dan, talk a little bit more about your win, dude. Congratulations.
Oh man, that was a fun and a tough race, guys. I mean, my truck was really, really good. I stayed near the front. Biggest part of the race. A couple times, pit strategies, got me a little further back, and we of course had that caution come out right as me and Brian were pitting, and kind of got us marred back there in around 18th place, and I didn't know if things were going to work out for us or not, but just so happens that that we were other people that we were ahead of still hadn't pitted, so they had to go in, and still came out in pretty good spot. I think I came out in the 6th. Brian came out around 9th, and we got hooked back up together. So, we were able to tug our way back to the front with a good move to the outside. And I'm telling you, Keith scared the pants off of me there towards the end of it, because
I think he did all of us.
I don't blame him. I've been in this spot before where you're in that bottom and middle line, and they're both about dead even, and you don't know where you're going to get the draft at. And he was just trying to win a race. So when I was when me and Brian went outside, Keith kind of put a block on us, and I was like, Brian, let's get around him. And he put that block on us, and it kind of put me outside of Brian. And I seen that 4 coming. I said, well, I got to stay here. And I just hope for the best, and just so happened I got a good push from him and got me out there where I needed to be. So, I know you said don't bring religion into it, but, I believe that prayer helped.
Yeah.
He does hear prayer, so I believe in that strong. And, just because I was praying to myself there at the end of it, please, don't let us
Keith,
wreck.
pick a lane. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
pick a
said
lane
that.
and don't wreck me.
Yeah, more than once. It's like he had so much speed. You literally could put that thing wherever he wanted to, and being able to drag it into a second place finish was awesome. I'm just looking too at the other column here because you finished all the podium guys. Basically, you all qualified. Well, Keith qualified 8th and finished 2nd. You qualified 4th and finished 1st, and Ken had a 2nd place qualify with a 3rd place finish. Like, you guys were just up front and just destined to be there all day.
A lot of times, Blaine, that's the best place to be, Blaine and Brad, because you're up there, you don't get marred up in all the people trying to fight through. We got a lot of good drivers in here, and anybody and everybody out here can win at any time. And when you're back there, from 12th place back, you're fighting and clawing for everything you can get. So it's dangerous, when you're 12th and back, because you're in the middle of everybody battling. But when you're up there in that top 10,
storm, yeah.
Yep. When you're up there in the top 10, especially in that top 5, it's pretty smooth sailing as long as you got somebody working with you and somebody not trying to either beat your doors off or beat your bumper off, and working with you. It's pretty safe for the most part.
Yeah, it's a good. I'm that way too. I'm not a strong racer. I can race up front. It's a lot of fun. Usually qualify in the middle of the pack. Try to find your way up there wherever. Pretty good at dodging some wrecks. You always do end up get caught in some of them. But yeah, like you said, those front 3 rows are always usually there's always a way out. There's always empty track in front of you. And, you might as well just keep your foot in it and you can usually get through it, man. But yeah, what a fantastic finish, especially, that yellow, the yellow before it actually put everybody in a space to be able to make it to the end. So that final one coming out when it did was like, oh, that's a surprise finish. So we had to quickly figure out where we were looking.
From the line.
Yeah. We watched it in slow motion where he was pulling that flag out about 100 feet, and again, it's all happening at 200 miles an hour. We couldn't tell initially. I'm pretty sure the yellow got these guys, and it did. And that was
about
it.
A truck length before the start-finish line, it came out.
The
light came on. So it was that close. Because I was like, I'm not going to win this if we have to race back here. And then they said, slow down, Dan. We took the caution. I was like, cool.
That's what you do. You just run. Just keep going. Don't stop because you never know what the call's going to be.
I was going to run it out until they told me, all right, slow down, Dan.
Yeah, man. Well, a lot of fun to watch. And, congratulations on your win, dude. I'll let you say a couple of final things and we'll see if we can grab Doug and get him back in here to sign off.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go ahead and bring him down, I was going to give him a thanks, for hosting this.
We'll grab him. Doug, you there, bud? You got me, Doug? Live on the air.
Good evening, guys. How's that race going? Did you like that one?
Oh, it was fantastic. We were just signing off with Dan here, and we were going to let him sign off, and he wanted to thank you for the bringing the sponsor to the table here. So I'll let you guys do your thing.
Yeah, Doug, I just want to say appreciate the sponsorship. These our veterans and our active duty personnel mean a lot to me and mean a lot to this country. And I just want to say thanks for sponsoring this with great sponsorship. Good job on that. And just want to say thanks to all the veterans, including my family members. I've got 2 uncles that are retired veterans and several other family members that are cousins and nieces and nephews that are still in the military. So I'm thankful to each and every one of them for what they do to protect this country and preserve it and to protect us and keep us safe and keep us away from being overtaken by other countries and what have you. It's just appreciate the whole 9 yards of it. They do a lot and they sacrifice a lot. So thanks to you for your service to our country. I wish I could have done it. I tried twice, but medical reasons wouldn't let me in, but I wanted to. But I really appreciate each and every one of you that, serve for our country.
Thank you, Dan. And that was a beautiful invocation. I appreciate your time on that.
Thank you. And I just want to give a shout out to my beautiful family, my wife, Bonnie, kids, Rachel and Alicia and Edward, Savannah, Morgan, all my grandkids. Got Micaiah and Xavier and Maslin and Sophia, Aria, Grayson, and little Edward. Just want to say, love my family and appreciative of each and every one of them. Thanks to all you racers. Thanks for you, Blaine, Brad, what y'all do here to, put us on TV and, get an audience out there for us. Thanks, Jeffrey, Ken, Greg, all the admins, Keith, everybody that helps out here, and myself. Just thanks to everybody. Thanks for the guys that paint, Frank, yourself, and what's it, Brian Rossman, is that his name?
Yep.
Just everybody does these paint jobs for these cars and trucks, makes it look better on TV. Just appreciate every bit of it, and especially the veterans. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks,
God
Dan.
bless.
Have a good night, bud.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it, guys.
Good win,
night.
Dan. Thanks.
Thanks, Doug. Good race.
Hey, Doug, before Brad and I wrap it up here this evening, it was a fantastic race tonight, man. Like, just through all the green flag stops and everything made it so good. We just wanted to give you the last word after we got through with Dan, the winner there, to just, say a couple more words about the hotline. And and then again, thanks for the sponsorship. And of course, thank you to everybody for their service. If you have served, we love you.
Yeah, I do. Thank you for the time. Veterans Crisis Line, this depression and just the way of thinking sometimes it just gets you messed up. And, you have to have someone to be able to listen to you or at least know you're talking. Unfortunately, tears don't make a sound when they hit the ground. And a lot of people are crying out there in the world when they lose their loved ones through suicide. It's just a thing that we need to start to work to get better. Maybe next year, if we do sponsor this, I'll drive the 20, maybe the 16. Let's get the number down.
Yep.
I like that idea.
Yeah, we almost missed lap 22. You'll probably watch it back and be like, what? I looked down at the ticker when you guys were coming out of turn 2, and Brad and I were like, whoops. So we shut it down there for a lap and a half. I warned everybody at the start of the broadcast. Sometimes we get into it and we'll try to do our best to keep on to the laps. So we missed it by about 20 seconds, but we definitely did go silent there for you. So when you are watching it back live, just be patient for a few seconds. We do realize our mistake and tried to fix it as best as we could.
Well, to be honest with you, the laps go by so fast. I don't even really recall lap 22 at this point.
Right. Yeah, we did catch it. We were a little bit late on it. Like I said, we were in turn 2 and we realized that it had been the lap 22 had begun. But we do get to it and we do shut the mics off for a couple laps. So, it was a great idea. And we almost did a home run. Tie goes to the runner.
Right.
You guys did a great job. I know you did.
For bringing this to light too, because it's not something that's probably not easy to talk about, but it's important that it is discussed and people are aware of it. So it's I haven't been affected by it myself directly, but still it's even just through acquaintances, people But anyway, so in short, good on you for raising awareness and for putting this subject matter as heavy as it is on the table.
And it's heavy. I mean, believe it or not, when I was in basic training in '84, we had one of my service members with us in basic training committed suicide. And it was just like, you weren't really, in 88, you're like, oh, what's going on with this, And next thing you know, like, everybody get your dress blues on, we're going to service. And let me tell you, when you realize that someone you knew has died and you hear taps, that is something that will forever change the way you look at anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, halfway through the race there too. I don't know if you heard that. Brad actually found out they got this dial 988. It actually works in Canada now as well. Because I think a couple of years ago we were broadcasting and we were kind of talking about how they were trying to get a similar hotline. Right. So it's really cool how they were actually able to have the same number.
The first place I heard about it was when you guys were talking about it on the race. I think it was something similar on one of the broadcasts anyways. I remember that. And then I remember looking it up because there was talk of it coming to Canada, but at the point it hadn't yet been there. But anyways, it's just good to have those resources for everybody. They shouldn't be. I understand that it works differently in every region, but it's a fantastic idea, and I'm glad that Canada followed suit and adopted that because it's infinitely useful. I would assume, hopefully, even if it helps a handful of people, then it's already more than paid for itself.
What's even cooler about that too is the fact that they kept the number the same. So, like, if you dial 911 for emergency services, you dial 411 for like information services, you can dial 988. For some assistance on this type of thing, so it kind of blends across country lines. So it'll work no matter where you are, as long as you're on the continent, which is a great idea. Instead of having a different number, let's make like a universal
consistent
thing. Yeah. Keep it consistent. But man, hope you liked the broadcast. This fantastic race, a fantastic cause, and a fantastic 125 miles.
It was. I do want to give a shout out to all my coworkers who viewed in on it tonight. I definitely worked a lot of people to see if I could get a good crowd up for this. My daughter Bailey watched down in South Carolina. She's down there working after graduating in college. My son out in Shreveport. I'll be hooking up with him in 2 weeks to move him to North Dakota, where his new duty station will be for the Air Force.
Another one, Thank you for your service, buddy. Yeah, it runs in the family. Thank you for your service, the Hewlett crew.
Definitely, strong people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's definitely. If you're going to pick a career in the armed forces, it's an honorable. I mean, I never did it. I'm friends with people who are and have, all different ages and genders and everything. So, yeah. It's awesome what you guys and girls do. So thanks again, man.
Hey, not a problem. I appreciate you guys' efforts tonight, and you guys have a good night, and thank you all for tuning in.
You too. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Doug.
Have
a good night, bud.
Bye.
Thanks again to Doug Hewlett for this evening's sponsor, the Veteran Crisis Line 125. And flawless racing as always here at Talladega Nights. And join us next week for race number 7. We got some more shuffling in the line. Of course, we have to wait for the official results to come out. But Dan was in 7th. Of course, he comes out of here with a win, so that's going to bump him up. Man, it's always cool week to week to see how much these standings can change. And for some reason, I can't get my Spotify working, so we got no music on the background tonight.
You can just don't know what's going on a little bit.
I guess so. Yeah, dee. I can't hum as fast as some of the music I play. But,
no, Windows doesn't work like that.
No. But if you want to hit www.veteranscrisisline.net and check that out, very simple website. Everybody needs to know the 988 number. Press 1, and of course,
and a good thing to support them. However, I don't know if they're funded or if they do fundraising either. Like, are they like the ALS? I don't even know. I really didn't find out too much about that, but
I was on the website, and like I said, it's a very simple website. It does what it does. Yeah, and it's part of the veterans thing, so it's probably all funded by government. And I'm sure they take donations too. Everybody loves donations, so. But we got some big races coming up in the next few weeks as well, as far as the Mega Marathon and of course the King of Kings and the ALS Association in cahoots with them. But we'll talk about that in upcoming futuristic broadcasts. Next week's race is sponsored by Dan Lovell. So tune in next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to clear your throat and and watch us call another race as we go around in circles here 47 times. But I guess, keep one hand in the ocean. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. And keep your stick on the ice.
Rules are rules for a reason. Follow them, or because if you're gonna piss off the broadcasters, then you're gonna listen to my opinion the whole time of the race, and I'm just gonna keep saying all my thoughts, and you don't want to hear that. Nobody else does either. But anyways, I'll be racing interspersed with every political idea I've ever had, and I have a feeling that you probably won't like it. So let's just leave it out of it and just keep racing. I've only just learned about racing. I don't want to have to learn about politics too.
The racing is phenomenal. That's that's where we really like to keep it. But yeah, man. Thanks for watching the race tonight. We did have some record numbers tonight too. I think 100 hits. People watch us. It's pretty neat that they watch us play a 21-year-old simulator. Is it 21? Yeah, 21-year-old simulator. 20, 23, 21. Yeah, 24. 2024. I forgot what year it was. I forgot when I was born. I don't even know what's going on. I'm surprised. I've got 2 keyboards. I'm surprised I know which buttons to press. But have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Keep your stick. I already said that. Keep your stick on there.
You did.